Good day, everyone. Today, I will be talking about the universally accepted theories of growth and development for children and its significance in nursing practice. As children advance through a sequence of growth stages, they may face several challenges and relatively common problems. First stop is the sexuality development by Sigmund Freud. As the child advances to their developmental stage, they try to pursue and satisfy their urge so as they can achieve what they want. Failure to do so will lead to anxiety and fixation to a particular developmental stage. Oral stage starts from birth to 1 year, and the gratification comes from the mouth. In this stage, we can see that the infant's contentment comes from their sucking reflex. They want to feed from the mother or from the bottle. Common consequences of psychological fixation during this developmental stage is nail biting, chewing pencils, smoking, or a manipulative personality disorder. Anal stage starts at 1 to 3 years old and it concentrates on bowel and bladder elimination. At this age, the child is adjusting to moderate parental control that might result to the child's obsessive-compulsive behavior or recklessness. Phallic stage starts from 3 to 6 years of age, and it comes from the genitalia. The child becomes curious about their genitals and can tell the difference between a boy and a girl. Anxiety could arise if there is a feeling of being insignificant or being dominated, whether it is socially or in a relationship. Latency stage starts at 6 years old until puberty. During this stage, the energy of the child from the Oedipus Electra problem can be used for developing oneself. They could acquire culturally regarded skills and values. The last phase of sexuality development is the genital stage that spans puberty through adult life, and it represents most of a person's life. This is where adolescence starts to be independent from their parents. From infancy to adulthood, human development is a non-stop process. And perhaps ErikErikson's psychosocial development theory is one of the best studies that explains this process. Their personality development will depend on how they face different conflicts that must be overcome as soon as possible, because it will threaten a person's psychology. In the first stage, the infant depends on the parents, especially the mother, for sustenance and comfort. As the infant learns to trust the world around them, they also acquire the virtue of hope. If the parents fail to provide a secure environment to meet the child's basic need, a sense of mistrust will result. That could lead to feelings of frustration, suspicion, withdrawal, and a lack of confidence. In the second stage, children at this age like to explore the world around them and they are constantly learning about their environment. They are able to handle many problems on their own. But if the parents demand too much or refuse to let the children perform tasks of which they are capable, they may instead develop shame and doubt about their ability to handle problems. The third stage is where the child is learning to master the world around them, learning basic skills and principles. They want to begin and complete their own actions for a purpose. They may feel guilty over the things that does not produce their desired results. Encouragement and independence builds the preschooler's character. The fourth stage is where the development of self-confidence takes place. When they are praised for their accomplishments, they demonstrate industry by being diligent and persevering at tasks until completed. And if they are not allowed to discover their own talents, they might develop lack of self-confidence and low self-esteem. The fifth stage is where the individual desires to find their own identity. This is an important period to get to know themselves and shape their future. If any negativity experienced, an adolescent may succumb to alcohol and nicotine addiction. The last theories that we are going to talk about is Lawrence Kohlberg's stages of moral development. These are the stages of moral adequacy conceived to explain the development of moral reasoning. It is the basis for ethical behavior that is adequate at responding to moral dilemmas. Level 1 is the pre-conventional morality that is applicable to young children under the age of 9. At a young age, they believe that rules are meant to be followed and those in charge will undoubtedly follow through with punishment. Level 2 is the conventional morality that is applicable to older children and adolescents. It recognizes the desire to be accepted into societal groups as well as how each person is affected by the outcome. Rules and regulations are to be followed and obeyed. Post-conventional morality is the last level that is applicable in young adults. It acknowledges the introduction of abstract reasoning as people attempt to explain specific behaviors, but do not always result in fair outcomes. The significance of the theories that was discussed is we understand the needs of every children. We know the different kinds of approach that is appropriate in every developmental milestones. I can compare a child to a sponge because they absorb whatever you saturate them. We feed them, we teach them, we take care of them to keep them contented. We allow them to feed their curiosity and be independent so they can build their confidence. We also discipline them to let them learn what is right from wrong by giving punishment and acknowledging their good work with reward to keep them inspired. As the child grows up, they learn to distinguish ethical and moral behaviors. We nurses are part of a child's progress and development as they discover their purpose in life.